Yeah, so just to kind of take people back here, this is, my memory's a little fuzzy, but I want to say around maybe 2017. This is about 3 years after the infamous incident with the guy on top of the bus. This is maybe around 3 years later, I want to say, mid-2017 maybe. So it's about midnight, and as you know, around that time, the 4 goes down to once an hour, right, going back. So basically, I'm at the final stop where the 4 stops in Santa Monica off of Ocean, and I've got some time to kill. So, literally where the bus stop is at, there's a park across the street called, I believe it's Palisades Park, right? I think you've been to that park.
Yeah.
And so, for those who may not know, it's a beautiful park that really abuts up against the Pacific Ocean. And literally, there are beautiful bluffs you can look out over. And part of it even, if you look down, it overlooks PCH, Highway PCH, whatever. So it's just a very nice, very tranquil, nice kind of place to kill time and look out over. So again, it's probably about midnight. I figure at that point, I probably still had about another maybe 40 minutes to wait for the bus to go back. So there were a few people there, milling about, and so basically, I'm looking out over the bluffs. And I see a woman, looks to be Hispanic, maybe about 30 or so. She's kind of just wandering around, and obviously just didn't think much about it. And then I kind of would look away for a second, look at her, kind of look back again. Again, nothing unusual. Maybe a few minutes later, I happened to look back again, and she was maybe standing about 5 feet from me, but also looking over the bluff too. So I thought, okay, just like me, probably, enchanted by the view, just killing time, whatever. So, maybe another couple of 5 minutes go by, I would say. And then, I don't know why, but something just said to look over. And I no sooner looked over. Now, I'm facing the bluff, so she would kind of be to my left. So, something just kind of said look over. So I no sooner looked over, and I see her hop over. There's a railing on top of the bluff that's maybe about 4 feet high or so. It's not very high. And as I turned to look, she literally jumped over the railing. And it's probably, the bluffs are different. How do I say this? There are different heights along different parts of it. So the part she jumped off of was probably, I'm guessing, at least, oh, wow. It had to be maybe at least 50, 60 feet, maybe, I'm guessing, a minimum, maybe higher than that. So I happened to, look over and say, oh my gosh, she jumps over. I kind of, it's almost like for a second you kind of, I froze for a second. It's almost like I couldn't process what I kind of just saw. And then when I processed it, I thought, oh man, I really don't want to even go and look. But I thought I've got to, check on her, or whatever. So literally, as I walk over to the spot where she was at, and I look down, she's literally sprawled out. It's almost like a bizarre movie, almost like a pancake, almost like arms spread out, legs spread out, just flat, and just motionless, And so I'm kind of in shock for a minute, and then my thought is, okay, well, I've got to call 911. But, Jeff, you might find it kind of funny, but you know how we are living in L.A., where so much goes on. I debated for a few minutes even calling, and I felt bad, but my thought was, this woman was standing so close to me. Someone might actually think that maybe I knew her, maybe she was my girlfriend or something, maybe I pushed her over. I mean, I know it sounds kind of crazy, but that was kind of my first thought. Like, if I don't have any witnesses, it's just my word, right? No one's there, it's midnight. You know what I mean? I was kind of like, I don't know. And it's funny because just as I was kind of contemplating, there was another Hispanic guy who'd been on a bicycle, and I guess he had been maybe about, 30 or 40 feet away, and he saw the same thing, so he came over and said, hey, I just saw what happened. And I said, oh, okay. I said, well, thank God. I said, well, would you mind staying here as a witness so when I call the police? He said, oh, yeah, no problem. So, I called the police, and they came pretty quickly. I would say probably within like maybe 3 minutes or so. I think they came pretty fast. And, they kind of quickly roped off the bluff area, went down and roped off because it was literally like under the on-ramp to PCH, so they roped that area off. And then, of course, she was asking me questions, things like that. And so I guess while we're up there, then probably about another maybe 3 or 4 minutes later, I think the ambulance pulls up at the bottom to check on the woman. as I'm answering questions, for the police. And then I guess a few minutes later they had said that she had passed away.